Hey guys, Jamie here. So today I thought I would just go over some snacks for a high carb, low fat lifestyle. Whether you're already on the lifestyle or maybe you're coming from a different lifestyle and you're kind of trying to transition over. So yeah, my preference for high carb, low fat snacks, of course, is going to be ones that are overt fat free. This is very important, okay, guys? Is that when we have overt fats, we really want to keep them for the end of the day. It's very important because you don't want to be having overt fats with carbohydrates. That is where all the problems come. Okay, with insulin resistance leads to blood sugar issues, pre-diabetes, diabetes, and with all that comes, cognitive function problems like brain fog and energy issues, mood issues, and we just don't want that. Okay, so we want to keep the overt fats out. So these snacks are all like to have throughout the day. And I believe in snacking, and I know a lot of you are gonna say that you don't like snacking, and you're all into intermittent fasting. Um, but that's a mistake, guys, okay? I'm just telling you, especially for women, because if we don't get in glucose every 2 to 3 hours, your body ends up relying on adrenaline. Adrenaline can feel really good. When your adrenals are strong, adrenaline can feel really good, okay? Makes you feel, it's like a fight or flight that kicks in. It makes you feel really sharp, mentally aware, it gives you energy. And when you're younger, in your teens, 20s, early 30s even, if you have strong adrenals, you won't feel these things because your adrenals were strong and they had enough adrenaline to make up for the lack of glucose. But as we start to get older, sometimes some of us, especially women, can suffer from adrenal fatigue, okay, which I have in the past, and it's not fun, okay, and so it takes effort to recover them. So once you recover them, you really don't want to go back to that place. So I personally will do anything to prevent that from happening again. So I will eat, sometimes I forget. Yes, I'm not perfect. You're out and about and you forget. But when I'm aware, I will get it in every 2 to 3 hours to prevent my body from relying on adrenaline, okay? The adrenaline is making up for the lack of glucose coming in. So, yeah. But anyways, so these, I'm just going to be sharing the snacks that I recommend. And then there's some that are, I'm not saying are healthy. They're not. But if you're really fighting a craving for something with a fat and sugar combined, then that's where these kind of less healthy ones come in. Okay. So to start off, I always have dried fruit. Typically dates, but it could be figs or mangoes. I mean, they basically dry everything. There's dried pineapple out there, berries, whatever it is. So yeah, dried fruit is good to have on hand, and I can take this with me anywhere if I'm out grocery shopping or on a road trip or something. This is really handy to have on hand, and all it takes, guys, is just two. You only have to have like two to get that glucose in. It doesn't have to be like some big meal. So yeah, even just a couple, okay? And honey, I love honey. Now, if you're against honey, that's fine. You could, also do maple syrup, like real maple syrup, not the fake stuff, the real maple syrup. Just like a tablespoon of it. It has lots of minerals, that maple syrup, and it gets the glucose in. But I like honey because it comes with all these benefits, okay? Antioxidants, it's antiviral, antibacterial. It has amazing source of glucose in here. And yeah, so I'll just have like a tablespoon, maybe sometimes two. And then I won't eat them for a few more hours. It doesn't fill you up. It just gets it in, okay? And again, I can take this with me anywhere, just bring a baggie and a spoon. It's not that complicated. And then I also will have applesauce on hand sometimes. Now, I probably just honestly, maybe a half a cup to, well, actually probably more like a cup of the applesauce. Again, it's not super filling, but it just gets it in, okay? Not a lot of calories either. But yeah, so maybe about a cup of that. And again, you can bring that with you in your car on a road trip if you're traveling, okay? And then also too, I always have canned pineapple on hand. This is kind of like, these are kind of like my backups just in case. Again, I can take this when I'm on the road. It's convenient. You just pop this open, bring a spoon, and this is just pineapple in here. pineapple and pineapple juice, okay? And I know this is a BPA free, BPA free packaging. I'm not crazy about eating things out of a can. Like I'm not trying to, fear monger, like, but there is heavy metals in cans like this, and you just have to be careful. That's all. I don't do this a lot, but it's just something as a backup, okay? And then of course, and then juice. I'll maybe just have a cup of juice if I'm at home, or if I'm out, like I'll just put it in a little mason jar or something. Again, I can take it with me anywhere. I just get orange juice. I get orange juice because it just has orange juice. Okay, this is the only ingredient. It just says orange juice. Now, if there's something else in there, I don't know, because then they're lying. But there's lots of juices out there that I like are a huge concoction. They have so many additives and stabilizers and like other preservatives in there. I'm not crazy about, so I just go with orange juice. That is my preference. And I also like coconut water. That's another great thing to snack on, okay? It has a lot of amazing electrolytes in it, and it has the glucose as well, the sodium. But yeah, so even just a cup of this, guys, a cup to 2 cups, whatever. And then of course, fruit. This is my most ideal is fruit. You can have banana, an apple, a pear, a handful of grapes, a kiwi, whatever it is, a mango, whatever it is, a cup of blueberries or raspberries. Fruit is obviously the most ideal. This is the most ideal. The dates, the honey, those are the most ideal in my opinion. So yeah, fruit. And then if you wanted to have maybe vegetables, some people like vegetables and they like having it with a dip. So what you could do, which I've done, is you can make a dip out of dates, maple syrup, and water, okay, cinnamon. And that's really good with celery, actually. You can dip that, or dip the celery in that dip. And it's good with cucumber as well. It's good with apples. But if you wanted like it has to be fat-free though, okay? Because these snacks are for the day, and they should be overt fat-free. So I've made a homemade hummus here. Now you can have hummus, but just make sure that if you're gonna make a homemade hummus for your cucumbers or carrots and celery, whatever, you're gonna dip with them, you want it to be overt fat-free if you're gonna have it throughout the day. So I just blend chickpeas with like lemon juice, lemon zest, water. You can put some herbs in there, some garlic, some onion. What else? Maybe that's it. So yes, it's very, very simple. I understand that. And most people are used to eating hummus with oil and like olives and stuff. And I know it's absolutely delicious. But during the day, if you want to keep it over fat-free, but you feel like having a dip with, some vegetables, that's what I would do. Now, if you're having this at night, maybe with your dinner, okay, well, you could put some olive oil in there or some tahini or some sesame seeds and, make it more like, traditional. So yeah, and now I do have a couple other snacks. Now, these are not healthy snacks. I understand that. But we are human beings. We are not perfect in nature. And sometimes we go through stress in life, hard times, and you know what, you just really want to indulge in like the worst things sometimes. And what these are for, these are just examples, okay? There's other snacks out there that you could eat. This is just what I have on hand. But sometimes we just want to indulge a little bit to satisfy ourselves emotionally when we're going through stress. So I understand that these aren't perfect and these are not healthy like snacks. I'm aware. But we're not perfect all the time, okay? It's human nature. Maybe it's Halloween and maybe it's Christmas time and you want to have a little fun and you're just trying to avoid going for the chocolate, abominations with fat and sugar together, or the cookies or the donuts with fat and sugar together, which, cause a lot more problems. And I'm not saying, for a special occasion not to have those things. I'm just talking, this is about what we do on the day-to-day, what we do most of the time that really matters, okay? I'm not saying you have to be perfect all the time if it's Halloween or if it's Christmas Day or, your birthday. I'm not saying that you can't have a cookie if that's what you want. I'm just saying, like on the day-to-day to keep yourself healthy, fit, and well, you need to keep it low fat. It's just the way it is. But yeah, so what I have here, this is just what I have on hand because my husband likes these. Now, these are Swedish berries. And again, these are not perfect. They're not perfect at all. Like they have sugar, citric acid, artificial flavor, cornstarch. I don't like cornstarch. Artificial flavor is not good. But they're zero fat. Okay, so you know, this is just one option. There's plenty of gummies out there that are more fruit based. Like I've had them before. I have ones that are fruit based and they don't have all these bad ingredients. So some are better than others. Some are actually not so terrible, but this one is not the best, but in terms of what's in it. But like I said, we're not perfect all the time, and this is zero fat. So if it's Halloween, while my husband's eating candy, like, you know, chocolate bars, I will eat stuff like this because it's Halloween and I want to have some fun. I will have stuff like this, okay, or like these plant-based gummies that I get that are like more fruit-based. My husband likes these. Now this has wheat in it and I can't have wheat. I mean, I just can't. Like I will once in a blue moon if I'm out at a restaurant, but it's not, doesn't work well with me. But he seems to be okay. And again, 0 grams of fat, okay? It's flour, corn, and baking powder, salt, and potassium hydroxide, which I have no idea what that is. But yeah, so these aren't perfect, but he likes them and they're 0 fat. So that's what matters the most to me, okay? So yeah, and there's lots of examples. I'm trying to think of some other things, some other snacks. Basically just like candy. Like candy is basically 0 fat. And anything like a chip that's just the wheat or just the corn, like without the oil, which is hard to find, but pretzels are one of them, okay? So yeah. But yeah, so I guess that's it, guys. So that's my video for today, guys. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll be back again for another video. Thanks, guys. Bye.